All right, if you're running a WooCommerce store, you know there's always something you could be doing to boost that bottom line. So today, we're going to cut through all the noise. This is your clear, actionable guide to making your store way more profitable in 2025. No fluff, just pure strategy. Okay, let's just start with the one question that probably keeps you up at night. You're putting in the work, you're driving traffic, you're getting visitors, but are you actually capturing every last dollar? Or are there these little invisible leaks just draining away your profits? And here it is. This is the single biggest leak in almost every single e-commerce store. About 70% of all shopping carts are just abandoned. I mean, stop and really think about that for a second. For every 10 people who are interested enough to add your product to their cart, 7 of them just walk away. That is a massive, massive opportunity that we have to tackle first. So before we even dream about fancy new marketing campaigns or growth hacks, we have got to plug those holes. Think of it like a leaky bucket. Our first job is to fix the foundation, to strengthen the core of your store so you stop losing the customers that you've already worked so hard to get. You know, for years, we've all been obsessed with one thing: page load speed. And yeah, that's still important, don't get me wrong, but the game has totally changed. In 2025, a fast website is all about how it feels. How responsive is it? When a customer clicks a button, how fast does the site react? That sense of instant feedback is absolutely crucial now. And this is the metric that actually measures that feeling. It's called Interaction to Next Paint, or INP. It's now a core web vital for Google, which is a big deal. It literally measures how laggy or responsive your site is. A bad INP score means your site feels slow and clunky, and that frustration leads directly to people giving up and leaving. You know, one of the biggest things you can do for your site's speed is something your customers will never even see. It's called High Performance Order Storage, or HPOS. Basically, it takes all your order data out of the generic one-size-fits-all WordPress database and puts it into its own special tables built just for e-commerce. The result? When you have a huge flash sale, your site doesn't just grind to a halt, it scales beautifully. Okay, so with the back end humming along, let's get back to that checkout page. These are 5 super quick wins you can implement right now to fight back against that crazy 70% abandonment rate. Every single piece of friction you remove, like asking for a phone number you don't need or surprising someone with shipping costs, is one less reason for them to bail. And seriously, guest checkout and express pay options, they're not optional anymore. They're table stakes in 2025. All right, so our foundation is solid, the leaks are plugged. It's time to switch from playing defense to playing offense. Now we get to focus on building systems that don't just save sales, but proactively go out and generate revenue for you automatically. This is a huge mindset shift. I want you to imagine hiring the perfect salesperson. They work 24/7, they never call in sick, they never sleep. Well, that salesperson is real, and its name is automation. We're talking about a set of automated email and SMS messages that are always working for you, welcoming new people, recovering lost carts, and bringing old customers back. It's a growth engine that never stops. And if you're wondering where to start, these are the 5 automated flows that consistently bring in the most money. If you do nothing else on this list, set up an abandoned cart recovery flow. I'm serious, that is priority number 1, hands down. After that, a great welcome series and those back-in-stock alerts are just pure magic for capturing sales you would have totally missed otherwise. So how do you actually build these things? Well, there are 2 fantastic tools that work perfectly with WooCommerce. MailPoet is just brilliant because it's so simple and it lives right inside your WordPress dashboard. But for those of you who need more power, more advanced logic, deep customer segmentation, and SMS, well, Klaviyo is the industry leader for a reason. It really just comes down to what stage your business is at right now. All right, so your foundation is rock solid. Your revenue engine is humming. You're doing great. And this usually leads to what I love to call a good problem. You're ready to expand. You're thinking about managing multiple stores or new brands or selling in different countries. It's just a simple truth of e-commerce, isn't it? The more you succeed, the more complicated things get. All of a sudden, you're not just managing one store. Maybe now you have a US store and a UK store with different prices and different ad accounts. The logistics can get messy really fast. Does any of this sound painfully familiar? You're juggling like 20 different logins. You're trying to figure out how your site looks in Canada. You're constantly logging in and out of different Facebook ad accounts. You're sharing passwords with your marketing agency over Slack, which is just not secure. It's not just annoying, it's a huge waste of time, and it's super risky. This is where a totally new kind of tool becomes a game changer. It's called a cloud multi-login browser, and a great example is Sendwin. Just imagine this. Every single one of your accounts, your WooCommerce stores, your Google Ads, your Facebook accounts, each lives in its own completely separate, isolated browser tab. No more cookie conflicts, no more logging in and out 100 times a day. It's all just there, in one window. So we've covered the foundation, the engine, and the challenges of scaling up. Now for the best part. Let's turn all this theory into actual, real-world action. Here are a couple of step-by-step playbooks you can literally start using this week to see a difference. First up, the big one. And no, I'm not kidding. You can genuinely get a solid cart recovery sequence up and running in under an hour. Just go into MailPoet or Klaviyo, turn on the pre-built flow, tweak a few simple messages, and let the automation start winning back sales for you literally today. The key is just to get it live. You can always make it perfect later. Okay, next playbook, let's get your products showing up everywhere on Google. It's way more straightforward than you might think. You use the free Google for WooCommerce integration, sync up your product catalog, and then launch what's called a Performance Max campaign. For most e-commerce stores, this is the highest return on ad spend channel you can possibly have. So if we zoom out, this right here shows how your toolbox, your tech stack, really needs to evolve. Pretty much everyone starts with that minimal stack on the left. But when you hit that growth stage, when you start feeling those multi-store headaches we talked about, a tool like Sendwin becomes that key missing piece. It's the bridge that takes you from a single successful store to a true multifaceted e-commerce brand. And look, if there is one single thing you take away from all of this, let it be this right here. There is no silver bullet. There's no one magic plugin that's going to triple your revenue overnight. Real sustainable profitability comes from the compounding effect of making dozens of these small, smart improvements day in and day out. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Once you've fixed those leaks and you've built that automated revenue engine, that friction, that logistical nightmare of managing multiple regions or brands is often the very last hurdle. And with the right tools and strategies in place today, the path to taking your success global has really never been clearer.